ending a character arc, I imagine, can be so many things. What conversations did you have with Joseph and the writers about where Bash was going to end up, and what kind of input did you actually have in his final destination?
None. I had a lot of input. I had a lot of input. Being like, oh, it should be this and whatever. Like my pitch for the end was completely different. Like
What
it
was your
was.
pitch?
Uh, Sorry?
What was your pitch?
Okay, so Bash gets increasingly. I don't know where this will go, but Bash gets increasingly more volatile in dealing with all these. He's jumping into sinkholes and everything like that. Him and Mags are together. Amir is taken care of. Everything is fine, but he still can't get over this thing, and he keeps on pushing it. Huge catastrophe happens again, and he gets hurt. But somewhere along the lines, we also find out that he signed an organ donor card and everything like that, and whatever. So ultimately my pitch was super TV, super dramatic, and I'm like, this is where we can get away with it. My pitch was at the end of the series, Mags gets Bash's heart, and the last shot of the series is Amira coming to the hospital like weeks after the funeral, using her father's stethoscope that had this own journey to listen to her brother's heart inside Mags's chest, and that would be the end of the series. That was my pitch of it. And Joseph, I know it's ludicrous and it's whatever, but I'm just like,
It's good.
and I was just like, that would have been lovely. And then Joseph was just like, I hear you. It's nice. I'm not gonna tell a story about hope and confidence about this refugee and have him die at the end. I am not gonna do that because I want to tell a story that every refugee, and there's over 122 million people that have been forcibly displaced or right now. Um, he's like, I want to tell a story that they all deserve and that most of them, unfortunately, the reality is won't get. So when he wrote this beautiful ending where he stands up for himself and he finds value in himself and says, even when he's offered the job that he was so desperate to get, he realizes that his best bet is to do his best to contribute in the way that he wanted to, the way that his parents raised him to do, and to just trust that he is enough to move forward. And there's a joy in Bashir in that last shot where he's smiling and he's walking away that everybody who's going through this deserves to feel. And I don't think that there's a more fitting ending, regardless of how sensational I think that my pitch for the ending would have been. It was the fastest no I'd ever heard. You know what I mean? He's just like, that's great. I see the appeal to it. I'm not gonna kill Bash. Like we can't. And as a result, somebody else had to because they still wanted the weight of somebody. And I think we had foreshadowed that, and I think we'd even considered that somewhere halfway through season three, where I think Joseph mentioned he's just like, I think that that's where it's gonna go, and we were just like, oh, I don't know, but then when Lagance and I both saw it on the page, we're just like, oh, this is beautiful. Okay, fine, Joseph, you know what you're doing, and that's also kind of I keep learning and keep learning, and something that I've taken with whatever that I am so emotionally attached to these characters that I shouldn't be the one writing it because I will serve my narrative in the movie that I want to see. When I get to write movies and when I get to write TV shows, I'll do that. But right now, I'm just like, well, what if we did this because it'd be cool. So I'm glad. I'm tremendously proud, and I'm very happy with where it landed.